Fathers do this really important thing, which is they help the baby to learn to regulate certain emotions. So mothers help to regulate sadness, fear, distress. Fathers help to regulate excitement and aggression. So when fathers aren't in the house, when there are single mothers raising children without a father, often little boys develop behavioral problems, is what we're seeing, that they can't regulate their aggression because fathers help little boys in particular, but little girls too, to regulate aggression. So when fathers aren't around, you'll often see little boys who are more impulsive, who are more aggressive. So the answer is fathers and mothers are both critical to the development of children, which is a very controversial thing to say today, because if you're raised without one, you are missing a piece. But they're not the same. And they're not the same because our hormones dictate.
Hey, we back at it. Another episode of Making the Case, episode 120. Hey, as you can see, or I like to get you to guessing to see what the episode is going to be about. But today we're talking about the importance of fathers or the importance of masculinity, however you want to view it. But the importance of having a man around. All right. Is that good enough for you? Of course, I'm your host, Dr. Jacob Bison. We got two channel norms. One, we'll take points and not people. And then two, we don't do all that cussing and disrespectful stuff because we're professional over here. Okay. We like to get to the heart of issues, social issues, topics. We deal with relationships, social issues, and things of that nature. If you're new to the channel, just letting you know. Okay. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right. Now, the clip that I just showed, I thought was a good segue into our conversation piece that we have for this episode, because I can, even when I think back to my childhood, right? I have my father for 10 and a half years, right? And to be honest with you, I didn't see him much, even when he was in the household, right? So afterwards, I definitely was very angry, and I had no one there, no one around. I didn't have no uncles. I didn't have a father figure, nothing like that. I had an older brother, but was very close in age. So he was busy living his life, right? So I definitely agree when it comes to like a male definitely needs a man around to help control that aggression and that anger. Because when you're young, I mean, the stats back it up, because look how many males that are in prison who grew up in single parent household, who mother, a woman cannot regulate his emotion. Yes, when he's young, right? When he's a baby, when he's a toddler, mothers are very effective, right? In managing aggression. But once that boy becomes 10, 11, particularly in teenage years when he done outgrown his mother, his voice is deep, right? It's a whole nother ball game. So today's episode, what we're gonna do is we're gonna address even more science-backed data to show you how and why fathers are really needed in the household, and not just the household, right? We understand that divorce is gonna happen, families are gonna break apart, but the biggest thing is a dad, a male figure needs to be, particularly it's important for the father to be there because it's that connection, right? It's that biological connection that, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard or you maybe even experienced a lot of time when it comes to people not having an absentee father or a father that was on drugs or alcohol, stuff like that. Even though they are a person in that state, the child still longs for that connection. They still long for their biological father, even if a stepfather is in the picture, which is the reason why it's hard to be a stepfather. But of course, we've already addressed that and probably will in future videos, but that's neither here nor there. But like, it's extremely important for, like she said in the video, like when you don't have both, and like, yes, you can have a substitute such as a stepfather, uncle, grandfather. I know a lot of kids are being raised by grandparents, so yes, you can have that substitute and it might fare well for some of us, right? But at the end of the day, having that mother and that father bond and connection, it's hard to replace, right? And yes, you would like for mother and father to be in the household, but unfortunately, what we see nowadays with the stats, right? It's just critical to make sure that a father is in their children's lives. Okay. So we're gonna dispel a couple of myths when it comes to fathers being in their kids' life, and we're gonna talk about the importance of having a father, right? Whether it's in the household or not. All right. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. All right. So I have a website, um, and we're talking about a father impact on child development, right? That's what this article is based on. So it says here are 10 important facts from research, right, on child development. So let's go over these 10 facts to give you an idea of why fathers are so important. One, attachment. Fathers and infants can be as attached as mothers and infants. When both parents are involved, infants form attachments to both from birth. Absolutely, right? Um, Although it's typically that a mother would do a lot of the child rearing when their child is an infant, even up to 2, 3 years old, right? Because a lot of times the father is out home working or just not there, period, right? But that attachment is so crucial. Two, health outcomes. Father involvement is linked to positive child health outcomes in babies like improved weight gain in preterm infants and higher breastfeeding rates. That's interesting. That I did not know. Three, authoritative parenting. Father involvement using authoritative parenting, loving with clear boundaries and expectation leads to better emotional, academic, social, and behavior outcomes for children. And this is probably one of the bigger one out of the 10 because a father brings structure, discipline, right? Because both of my children know, like, hey, we don't play when it's about the grades, not just because their father is an educator, right? But it's because daddy don't play when it comes to no grades. When it comes to doing your job as a child is to focus on school and focus on how you can create a path and find what it is that you love to do. That way, mom and dad can give you the resources, put you in the right direction, etc. All right. So that's what dads focus on because men understand that, particularly if it comes to a boy, that the life ahead of a young man is that all people care about is what you can bring to them. What value do you bring to the world, to the family, etc. It sometimes it can be looked at as a harsh reality, but it is the reality. Take the harsh off. All right. Number four, future success. Children close to their father are twice as likely to enter college or find stable employment at the high school. 75% less likely to have a teen birth. 80% less likely to go to jail. And half as likely to experience multiple depression symptoms. Because men are straightforward. We in your face. Hey, what you gonna do? You ain't finna live here in this house for years and years. You better go get a job, go to the military, go do something. We're straightforward. To the point. We ain't playing no games with you. All right. Five, critical role. Fathers are crucial in child development. Fathers' absence hinders development from infancy to adulthood, with psychological harm persisting throughout life. Six, quality over quantity. The quality of the father-child relationship matters more than hours spent together. Non-resident father can positively affect children's social and emotional well-being, academic achievement, and behavioral adjustment. I'll be honest with you. With both of my kids, I did not grow up in the household. But when I did have my kids, I made sure that, yes, for a good period of time, I was a fun parent, right? But at the same time, whenever they came to correction, I made sure that they knew why I was correcting them and what is the proper way to go, right? So as men, we establish those boundaries like we was mentioning earlier, and we make sure that certain things are set in place and in stone so there's no question. And if you do have a question, we're open and we're honest with each other to speak about them things. Seven, social ability and self-control. High levels of father involvement correlate with high levels of sociability, confidence, and self-control in children. There's less likely to act out in school and engage in risky behaviors in adolescence. That's because, yeah, you know where my foot gonna go, right? And this is a part that we've moved away from. And to be honest with you, I understand why. But still, as a father, like, no, if you messing up, you're gonna have to deal with me. That's the energy that Some fathers bring, maybe not most. I don't know. All right. Academic achievement. Children with academically involved fathers 43% more likely to earn A's and B's or earn A's, and 33% less likely to repeat a grade than those without engaged dads. Behavior and economic benefits. Father engagement reduces behavior problems in boys and decreases delinquency and economic disadvantage in low income families. Father 10, psychological benefit. Father engagement reduces psychological problem and depression rates in young women, right? The impact of fathers and father figures is substantial, while father involvement had many aspects. The effects of uh, their father absence can be detrimental. So let's look at father absence. As a matter of fact, you know what? We don't have to look at father absence, actually. We know what happens when a father's not there. A child's more likely to go to prison, more likely to drop out of school, more likely to have health problems, more likely to be suicidal, more likely to be on antidepressant drugs. I mean, the list goes on and on. We already know. All right. So a lot of times we don't hear the positive impacts. We always hear the negatives. So I just want to bring to you what are the positive impact, because those are the negatives. All right. Actually, what I want to do is real briefly um look at black dads specifically, real quick. All right, real briefly, and I mean real briefly, I just want to read something to you, and you may have noticed, and you may not have known this. Um, it said a 2013 report from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention shows that black fathers are more engaged in parental activity than any other ethnic group. That data shows they're highly active in various duties, including bathing, playing, and helping with homework. And really, that's all I want to read to you, because I want to go ahead and wrap up this episode, right? So clearly, we understand the impact the father had when they are there and the detriment that they have when they're not there. And to me, this is what all my work is about. Whether it's come to being a relational education consultant, whether it come to being an educator, content creator, my work is based off of a relationship building, sustaining, and maintaining. All right. And so that's what drives me. That is my purpose, right? That is what my life work would be about. As a matter of fact, I already started engaging in my fourth book. So as a writer, as a consultant, as anything, relationships are key, in my opinion, to this whole thing, right? How do we live as a community, as a culture, as a society? It's all based on relationships and how we build those. And without men, there is no community, there is no culture. Matter of fact, there is no civilization, because we understand what men do in this world. All right. But we have to get back to family. We have to get back to understanding. And this is where men hold accountability, right? Men have to be careful about who they impregnate. Men have to be careful about who they take as girlfriends and wives. All right. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing, which I truly believe, but we have to be more particular. Instead of just stop looking at a woman's beauty, we got to look at her character. Okay. So, yes, fathers matter. And as men and women, we got to start understanding this, and we got to stop the disrespect towards each other. We need each other. And if this trend continues, which we see highest divorce rate ever, highest singleness ever, right? Mental illness through the roof, suicide through the roof, abortion through the roof. Like, if these trends continue, we're going to see more dire and dire effects when it comes to our society, politically, socially, biologically, spiritually, whatever you want to call it. All right. Hey, we're going to end the episode right there. You know how I can get, right? I can go on my tangent, but we go end the episode right there, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. If you support the channel, if you support Dr. Isom and his work, okay, first of all, go to jacobisom.com if you want to check out my books. Then go to RCD Consultancy if you want a one-on-one or group session. And More importantly, just hit the like button, okay? Hey, comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. But you already know I am you, you are me. Love always, love eternal. Remember, the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. And we are out. Deuces. One love.